3 people I know quit their jobs this month. One was making $150,000. One just got promoted, and another one absolutely loved their team. None of them had another job lined up. And when I asked them why, they all said the same thing. I don't know. I just couldn't anymore. There's a dirty little secret that nobody's telling you. This is not about bad bosses or burnout or needing a vacation. This is about something way bigger, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. In this video, I'm going to show you the historical pattern that explains why everything feels like it's falling apart, and how this unique moment holds opportunities for you for meaningful income. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, and you still feel as if you're failing? Like you followed the script, you got the degree, you got the job, maybe even got the promotion. But somewhere along the way, the script stopped making sense. You know you're not lazy, you're working harder than ever, you're not ungrateful. You know people have it way worse than you, but something inside you is screaming and you can't figure out what it's trying to say. 89% of people feel burned out right now. 89%. That's not personal failures. That's a pattern. And patterns have causes. Here's what I didn't understand for 15 long years. The system we were taught to succeed in is collapsing. And I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm talking structurally, and your body knows it before your mind does. Here's a framework I came across that really helped me understand things. It's based on research by historians who study how civilizations rise and fall. It's called the Cycle of Empire, and it shows 7 phases that have consistently repeated across 26 empires over the last 12,000 years. I took this framework and mapped it to our current global civilization, which started in 1648 with the Peace of Westphalia. I'm skipping a lot of the history here because I want to get to the main point, which is this. We're now in phase 6, the crisis period. This started around 2009, right after the global financial crisis. And history tells us this phase will probably run until about 2040. This phase always looks the same. People lose trust in institutions. Systems that used to work suddenly break down. Mental health crises sweep entire generations. The old rules stop making sense. Does any of this sound familiar? There's something I want you to understand that changes everything. This is not happening to you. It's happening through all of us. Your burnout, your questioning of everything, that's not weakness. It's a sign of intelligence. Your body is refusing to participate in a system that's dying. But here's what politicians, parents, career coaches, mindset gurus, these guys won't tell you, that we're not just in a crisis period. We're also entering phase 7. Which is a transition period. This phase started in 2020 with the Great Reset, and history tells us it's probably going to last until about 2060. So that means if you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s right now, this is your entire working life, this reset period, this transition period. The beauty about this harsh reality is that you have a choice, because the cycle resets and repeats every single time. So here's what that same graph looks like with us placed at the beginning of the cycle. It can be a little confusing because the end of one and the beginning of the next always overlap. But this overlap means you have a choice to make. Where do you want to focus your productive hours? On propping up the system that's busy collapsing, or building what wants to emerge? Do you want to take advice from those who want to hold on to the old for as long as possible, or from those who are working to bring in the new? Nobody can make that choice for you. The choice is always yours, and that's your power. The point is that these transition periods are terrifying if you don't have a map. But if you do have a map, if you understand where we are and what's actually happening, that's priceless. Because when everybody around you is losing their sense of direction, the people who can help them make sense of what's happening become invaluable. Let me tell you what changed for me. I was just as frustrated and burnt out as you. So in 2010, I quit a $200,000 job. For 15 years, though, I thought I'd made a mistake. I tried everything: freelancing, consulting, building products. I read all the books. I took all the courses, and nothing seemed to work. I felt alone, rejected, not because I wasn't trying hard enough, but because I was using a map for a world that doesn't exist anymore. Then around 2020, when the shutdown happened, I stopped trying to fix myself. I started studying what is actually happening: history, systems, how civilizations rise and fall. And I realized I wasn't failing, I was just early. I was trying to build something for the world that's coming, while everyone else was still optimizing for the world that's ending. And once I understood that, everything changed. Not because I suddenly had brilliant answers, but because I could finally help other people make sense of their confusion. I could say, you're not broken, the system is breaking down. And that's totally different. You're frustrated because you're a builder surrounded by bureaucrats. You're stuck in the story of what's ending. You need a new story. You need to find the other builders. You need to shift your focus from the right of this graph to the left. That's where the real action is. So here's what I want you to understand. If you're feeling a little lost and frustrated right now, you're not failing. You're detecting something real. Your confusion isn't any kind of weakness. It's highly accurate perception of an historical cycle which nobody is talking about. The old world is clearly composting, and the new one is trying to be born. Now, what about the people who can help others navigate this transition? They're going to be the ones who shape what comes next. Okay, if this makes sense to you, but you're not sure how to get started or where to turn to next, maybe I can help. I built something called Framer OS. It's an operating system that teaches you how to translate your lived experience into something that helps other people make sense of this moment. You develop your frame of reference, you translate your frame, and then you create an offering around it. This is not by becoming a guru. It's not by building a personal brand. It's simply by offering clarity when everyone else is drowning in confusion and noise about what's happening in the world. So somewhere below here, there's a link to a 3-minute quiz. It'll tell you if this suits you, if it's for you. But even if you don't take the quiz, I want you to walk away with this. You're not alone. You're not broken. And you're not crazy. In fact, you've been right all along. It's just that the bureaucrats around you can't see what you see because they want to believe in the old story. It's too scary for them to let go. So you've chosen to be here at the very moment when one world is ending and another is beginning. What a privilege. And now I want to honor something about you. You just spent a few minutes watching a video about collapse and transition and uncertainty. You didn't click away. You didn't go back to scrolling through content that numbs you or tells you how broken everything is. That tells me something important. You are done pretending. You're done with the videos that say the sky is falling or just work harder or manifest your dreams or here's my 5-step system for success. You're ready to see what's actually happening. And more than that, you're ready to build something real in the middle of it, no matter how bad the news may be. That already makes you a builder. Not because you have all the answers, nobody has all the answers, but because you're willing to stand in the questions while everyone else is running back to their comfortable delusions. The people who will shape what comes next are not the ones with the most followers, or the biggest platforms, or the fanciest credentials. They're the ones who stayed awake when it was easier to go back to sleep. They're the ones who said yes to the transition before they knew what it would cost them, before they even knew what it was all about. They're the ones who chose to build for what's emerging instead of optimizing for what's ending. That's you. And I want you to know that you're not alone in this. There's a whole mycelial network of builders finding each other right now. They're recognizing each other. They're building together. It's early days, but momentum is building quickly. So the link to the quiz is somewhere down below if you want to find if this mycelial network is a fit for you. This is not to test if you're worthy, but to help you see yourself more clearly, to confirm what you already know but maybe didn't have words for. But whether you take the quiz or not, I want you to carry this with you. The future isn't found. It isn't formed. It's framed by the stories we tell. And you're one of the people holding the frame steady while the old world composts and the new one struggles to be born. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying. Thank you for building. If you want to understand more of what's coming between now and 2030, watch the video that's somewhere on your screen now. Thanks for watching and frame on.